frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. In fact, Chris, you sing this because you're a better singer.
Go.
happy birthday to us, happy birthday, happy day. 100 episodes, man. 100 episodes, lads.
It
What about
is
that?
the 100th episode of Football Daft, the Daft, the Scottish football podcast round. I'm John, and let's welcome the team. You just heard him there. He made his mark on the show at episode 30. He's been with us ever since. It's Christopher C. Toll. How are you doing, Chris?
Christopher Cito, how do you know my middle name?
'Cause it's Celtic, isn't it?
That's true, aye. Do you want to know my middle name?
What's your middle
What
name?
is it?
The next king of Britain,
Charles.
Charles.
You look a bit like a Charles. Wee
That's
chick
after
toe.
we checked.
Wee chicky toe.
Wee kissy chick. Want my full Catholic school name?
Yes.
Christopher Charles Henry Toll. It's the most Protestant Catholic name that you'll ever get in your life.
You know how, like, obviously I'm always name dropping Barrymore, but his real name's Michael Parker because they get stage names. Why? I would. Chick Toe's brilliant.
Chick Toll.
Chick Toe.
Toll.
You could only have one chick in Scotland, and that was Chick Murray, but he's not here anymore. So
Chick Charnley.
Chick. Who was Chick?
Chick Charnley.
Chick the
Chick Young.
postman. Chick Cherry. Chick Cherry.
Young. Chick Young, Chick Cherry.
Chick
High
Cherry.
Road. Chick
The High
Cherry.
Road postman, Andy Cameron.
All
That's
happening.
right,
All happening.
Chick
Lots
Cherry.
of chicks out there. But
What a
then,
postman he was,
that man you hear right there, he's been with us from episode 1, and he's delighted that we've turned 100 because it means we get a letter from the Queen. It's Grado.
It's been a journey and a half, is it no?
I know, eh?
Well, I remember when you and Cameron phoned me up and he was like, these guys want to do a podcast, it's going to be big. I'm telling you it's going to be big. I tell you right now, Grado, I give it 6 months and we're doing it every morning. We're doing a breakfast football daft every morning. That's what he said was going to happen. Of course,
He stayed for 20 episodes and fucked off.
I know.
Actually,
Then it was Tanner. I liked what Tanner. So did Tanner do 10 episodes?
he did 10 episodes. He did. So you did 1 to 20, then 20 to 30 was Tanner, and then ever since we've had the bold Christopher Toll and our missing man today, Stephen Purden, who is on his jolly. So he's
Anyway,
missing.
I'm
out on the party.
swithering whether or not to invite him to my 40th now if he's not turning up for this birthday party.
I
When
know.
is your 40th?
Next year, mate.
That's a biggie, man.
Remember GBX and everything, I think you're beauty.
Shut up.
Oh
Honestly.
yeah, I've got to ask George about that, haven't I?
That's a good idea, by the way. Here, so we've done 100 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We managed to go with it. We managed to get basically a guest every week, apart from last week.
Aye.
I mean, it's only 2 guests of cost money.
Let's two guess what those Grado.
Listen, no,
No
wait a minute,
comment.
let's put it out to the fans. Who do they think Charles does to appear on Football Daft? And who do you think paid them?
That was a stressful couple of weeks. Who else? We've not had many. Have we had many knockbacks? That's what I was thinking about.
We've had quite a few knockbacks.
Put a knockback for the guy that's on the show today.
We have. We're going to today. I thought the guest we have on today. I think we've got to keep a mystery. It's probably Football Daft. I would say the most talked about person on
just getting
the Football Daft history. I would
With the
say.
exception of Jerry Pellini.
Well, we've had Jerry on. We've had the great Jerry Pellini on the show, which was
We have.
fantastic. We got him on for Grado's birthday, didn't we? I mean, looking back at the 100 episodes, boys. Chris, you've been with us for 70. Grado, you've been from day dot. What's been your favourite moments?
My favourite moment, and I watch it regularly, is when Charlie Christie, wasn't he?
That's mine. Without a doubt, that is mine.
When Charlie Christie hadn't left the chat yet and you started talking about him, Johnny, and Grado tried to run through his door to get away from the fucking interview. John, you need to put this up as an outtake again, man. Because
do you know what?
Class.
Do you know what? If you're not a Patreon, right, you probably haven't seen this, right? Because we do outtakes on our Patreon every week of all the stuff that we can't play. Now, this is probably the funniest outtake ever. When Grado freaks out because we realise that Charlie Chris is still on the call, and I'm like, I didn't think he'd be a great interview, but he was brilliant, wasn't he? I tell you what, we'll put that on the Twitter this week. So
right.
Put out for the greatest Football Daft outtake of all time, and we'll put that on the Twitter this week. Greg, what's been your favourite moment? We've obviously had some I mean, when you look at the guests we've had on this show, unfucking believable. Going back to Dave, we've had Kenny Miller, Mark Haitley, Billy Gilmore, Simon Donnelly, John Hartson,
Jane Park,
Ian Murray, Jane Park. I forgot Jane Park was on it.
Mate, that was the worst for me because that was horrible. Did you not get us in as a surprise and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was aye. Then what other ones was there? There was but there was a few of them that come in the studio. Let me tell you something as well, but because John, you weren't there at the initial. You weren't there.
I wasn't.
You came when the 10th, 11th,
4.
Episode 4, and I remember because we had Gary, who was a producer, and he was brand new, and he was like, "Look, there's a new producer starting next week," and then John started, and I was like, "I don't like this guy."
Seriously?
I was like, "I don't trust him."
Great, though, it took you about fucking 5 years to like me, I can't.
No, that's pause. No, John, it wasn't as bad as that. But I was just like, that way I was like, fuck, who's this guy? But then,
knowing you how I know you now, I'm not surprised.
You're the best, mate.
Really, I'm surprised.
I tell you my darkest secrets.
Right, exactly. Listen, what's been your favourite moment, Greg? What's been, apart from the Charlie Christie outtake?
I'm trying to think now. Wow, what would be? Here's a couple of.
Do you know what? One of my, I'll give you mine. It's a story we talk about on this show an awful lot. One of my favourite guests we had on. It was again a really surprising guest because we booked him and we thought, what will we speak to him about? It was Mark Reynolds. I thought he was a brilliant guest, and it has
tremendous.
To be the Archie Knox story about
Spunker shite bag.
That was the best.
Shite bag.
That was tremendous. It really was. That was fucking hilarious, man.
Billy Gilmore, Grado. I mean, you're obviously pals with Billy. I mean, that went massively viral. It was on Lad Bible. It was on Sport Bible. You presenting him with a bottle of Bucky and a porno mag on his 18th birthday. That's got to be up there.
That's up there as well. That was really, really cool. There was who else was good that we got on the show? David Martindale was good. I'm just looking at folk on YouTube.
I liked Barry Ferguson. I know it was my first show, but I liked Barry Ferguson and Bob Malcolm. I thought they were brilliant quality.
Good value. Brilliant.
Who else was there? There was I missed the Owen Coyle one, but everybody said that was tremendous.
Owen Coyle was good as well. So I mean? Frank McAvenny was all right. I loved Andy Goram's story about drinking Brian Laudrup out of house and home.
Aye, and the Van Morrison Gaza story was fantastic as well.
Andy Gray just been in Dubai, or was it Dubai he was in?
Aye, and was Chick Young no abroad and all, or was he? Something,
he was great
something along the lines. Aye, we've had a few right good episodes.
Here's to 100 more, and listen, you can hear all those shows back in the archive now. They're on Spotify, they're on Apple. You can get them whenever you get your podcast. Loads to catch up on if you missed the early days of Football Daft.
I need to tell you a story, right? Last night I was watching a nature documentary. It was about the ocean, right? And do you know that a blue whale can open its anus 3.5 feet?
Wow.
It's the second biggest arsehole on earth after Rio Ferdinand.
Hey!
Hey, there we go. We'll start it, lads. 101.
Fantastic. Well, let's get into it. Let's do what we do. Let's talk about Scottish football.
This is the worst bit about Football Daft. I hate this bit. I hate talking about football, man.
I fuck it. Imagine talking about football on a football podcast. It's a fucking nightmare.
Hold on. Wait till you see here. The first bit of news. So what's been happening in football? Ross County's League Cup opener against Forth for Athletic is unlikely to go ahead after the club suspended football operations due to COVID-19. I suppose that is news. That's crazy.
Aye, I mean, that's it's going to happen an awful lot the next season as well, isn't it? Because you know what it's like, even at the moment with schools, with workplaces, all that.
Well, do you know what, John? It's going to be. After this, is it the 9th of August that there's no restrictions anymore?
Freedom Day.
What is it? Is that our Freedom Day?
Aye, that's our Freedom Day. Aye, so after that, do you know what? See if you get it, go and fucking isolate yourself. Nobody else needs to unless you test positive. So that's the truth. That's the truth, Credo. You don't need to isolate unless you test positive after the 9th of August. So,
That's the plan at the
you know
moment.
what? Bring it on, man.
But you know what? There's still bring it on. I know, but it's stuck. I'm not even getting into it. I'm not getting into it. But it's still, I just can't believe the amount of folk that are getting it now. But that's another story for another day.
How excited are you about getting into the stadium for that first game, though?
I can't wait. I'm just. Well, we've booked. I know what my first game could be a Norwich game, Norwich and Man City. We've booked tickets to go and see wee Billy in the middle of August. So hopefully, I can't. What's the script with the Scottish football? Then will we be able to be?
I think it'll be limited. Jason Leach has said that they're hoping to get back to. They're hoping come August they can get back to people in stadiums. I know, for example, at Falkirk, you buy there's 2,000 season ticket holders at this point are going to be let into the stadium. I don't think it'll be a pay at the gate, but I know 2,000 season. This is 2,000. I know.
It must be pretty easy to socially distance in New Brockville, though.
It is pretty easy to social distance in Falkirk. There's plenty.
One fan at each corner, Flash.
Yeah. So it'll just be great to be back in stadium. I mean, I was lucky enough to get a ticket for the Scotland-Croatia match, and do you know though, there's nothing better than a game of fucking live football, isn't there?
My mate was at the Spain and Italy game last night.
Was he?
I took his 2 boys. What a game to get
allocated
it. What a game that was. What about Rangers? They've made a signing this week, haven't they?
Lundstrom, heard he's good.
Lundstrom for Sheffield United, free transfer. Rangers' favourite.
He's there's nothing wrong with that. Free transfer.
I'll be honest with you, I thought he was Swedish just purely because of the name.
Aye.
And he's a Scouser.
He's a mega Scouser. He's got experience in the Premier League. Looking forward to it.
Does he, Greg, I was going to ask you, I think I asked it on the WhatsApp group, do you think that means it's Kamara's on his way out, or do you think it means Stephen Davis will take more of a back seat next season?
No idea. I don't know about Davis taking a back seat, and I don't know about Kamara leaving either. I think it's just a matter of stocking up, just strengthening the squad.
I think Ryan Jack's injury could be worse than they envisaged.
There's a lot of folk saying on the internet that he they remind each other, Ryan Jack and Lundstrom, so see how it goes.
Right. A couple of rumours. Obviously, we've had the Chris rumour. We need to bring that back, actually, Chris, because this is rumour time. I want to give you a couple of football rumours, and you can give me a sound to think whether it'll happen or no. So we've got Celtic.
So Spunk or Shitebag.
Right, yeah, okay, aye, more like that. Shitebag if you don't think it'll happen. Spunk if you think it'll happen, right?
Right, okay.
Okay, Swedish cap Carl Starfelt to Celtic to replace Christopher Ayer. Ready what you saying yet? Right, that's not happening then. Rangers are looking at a guy called Abu Haru as from Sparta Rotterdam, could leave at the cut price of $2 million, and apparently Rangers are after him. Grado.
Haru?
Listen, what's it? Haru! You are a Billy boy. That's what they'll be singing, and if they don't, then they'll fucking miss the trick.
Well, there you go. You've set it up there, right? So is that Spunk or Shitebag, Grado? Nah, no happening. Chris.
No, hold on. Was that no Spunk? What's the difference?
My Spunk is.
Aye, and I done.
Aye, so that's Shitebag.
What did I do?
You went.
You said.
All right, I done. I meant.
All right, okay, that's Grado's Spunk sound then.
All right then. Fucking Stephanie's a lucky lady.
This is absurd.
Right, and finally, let's go for this
Absurd.
one. There's not many other rumours going about here, but Celtic, Aaron Hickey, moving from Bologna, and Bologna want $8 million.
No chance.
That's Shitebag from Chris.
That's paper talk, that one, is it no?
Right, Chris, so you giving it Shitebag as well, Grady? We've heard your Spunk sound, let's hear your shite sound. That's better, aye. That's definitely a shite sound. Boys, I've got to ask you as well, right? We're recording, at the time we're recording, it's a Tuesday night, we're recording a bit earlier, Wednesday night, we're recording a bit earlier this week. Survey out today says 1/3 of Scots are supporting England to win the Euros. Now, there's 3 of us on this podcast tonight. Let's try and guess which one is supporting England. Is it
No.
Christopher Toll? Is it B, John? Or is it C, Grado?
Right, come on.
Sir Grado of the Shire.
For the guy that done that heartfelt speech walking through Glasgow with his snidey GD Sports Scotland Euro 96 rip-off jersey.
Check out Go Radio's Twitter.
Come on. No, right. All my pals in my group chat always ban me up about it, right? I don't support England. I support Scotland. That's ludicrous. However, I think folk go over the score when they're talking about the English commentary team and the likes of that told having a go at Rio Ferdinand and stuff like that. It's only natural. I think it just comes across dead bitter.
No, wait a minute. What he said last night was a mile out. Yeah. Who would you rather have, Italy or Spain? It doesn't matter. England beat either of the two teams. My fucking arse.
But come on, it's a work. He's a gimmick. Come on, he's Piers Morgan.
That's the whole point, then, isn't it? That's the whole point, to get folk worked up. So,
and people were getting mega worked up. I think it's just
fucking stupid chin.
I seen there was folk. There was something in the paper the day about Tesco. Tesco apologised to their Scottish customers because they blasted Vindaloo through the speakers or coming home, whatever it was. And the fucking spokesperson's talking about, the Nothing Each game, and I'm going, fucking get over it. Get over that. Folk just want to be offended. It's a bit like, have you been watching Love Island?
No, I haven't watched.
Come on.
I heard Hugo was greeting though because two
lassies. Hugo?
What's that girl he was greeting because two lassies, he said, I don't like fake lassies, and a lassie had a right go and he started crying.
Oh, wait a minute, he started crying?
Yes, because the lassies were bullying him.
The lassies, he basically said that he put them in a wee kind of...
Hold on a minute, do they not do mental health checks before they go into this show?
Yeah, I would think so.
And they've got somebody on the show that's greeting when a lassie has a go at them?
No, but see the lassies...
Get it!
Get it! The lassies had basically heard that he'd said, and I know fuck I've got to be raging here, I'm talking about Love Island on this, but I bet there'll be a fair few listeners.
I spoke for half an hour about Big Brother last week, but
that's true. So he said he didn't like fake lassies, and the lassies took it, that kind of pure offended, like, you don't understand. I was 13 to 18 and I was underdeveloped. You don't know what I went through and all this and what it meant for me, for my parents when I was 18 to buy me breast surgery and stuff like that. See the guy that they were saying it to? He's got a club foot. Look, I'm sure that's exactly what it is, but he's got a legit disability, and they tried to make that guy feel, you shouldn't have said that, you don't know how it affects people. For a guy that's got a real actual, I don't know, maybe this is too controversial and stuff like this, but...
No, you're right, you're absolutely right. I
don't know if the right term is club foot, I'm thinking he's going to bother.
No, it's the right term, it's the right term.
Did they touch on the fact that he had a club foot?
What's that?
Did they touch on
it?
Aye. Did they slag him for it or that?
No, I don't...
What's he fucking greeting for then, the big... Oh, we your chance.
Right, anyway, Gregor, stop deflecting. Are you supporting England or no?
No, I'm really, really no. I'm just, honestly, I'm the Euros, I'm by with the Euros. That's right, always gave me stick for watching the Celtic and Sheffield Wednesday game, that called me obsessed. I don't like watching that.
The Crankies are throwing their weight behind England, so there you go.
Are they?
Have they?
They have. The Crankies have come out and said...
Fucking bunch of jumpy dyke bastards. Away you go, Crankies.
Right, so I'm sure we'll get into more Crankies chat in the open line a bit later
and by the way, Grado's free rhymes this week is fucking tremendous.
Right, we've got the new feature we launched last week. I was off last week. We've got the new feature, fantastic. Grado's three others are coming up later on the open line as well as all the punters. We're going to be speaking to a Glasgow band who are making it big in the charts at the moment. They're called
Wet.
They're not called Wet, no. It's called St. Phoenix. They've got a song out called Happy Place. We'll be speaking to them. We'll have more prize to give away in the player profile playoff. And as it's the 100th episode, we mentioned we've got a very special mystery guest, the most talked about person on this podcast, out with the boys. The week that Stephen Purden's off, could it be Super Ali? That would be a belter. You can find out who that is later on.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
Right, John, remember, if you've been in a road traffic accident, you're not at fault. G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They can provide you with a complete accident management support that you require. They'll recover your costs from the at-fault party. They'll sort out a like-for-like vehicle replacement. They'll also organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and returned to you. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, they will recover the pre-accident value for your car and write you a big fat cheque for it. And best of all, it won't cost you a penny, as again, they charge the at-fault insurance direct. G4 Claims don't cold call, they don't buy data, and once they've processed your claim, your insurance is going to remain unscathed. And the best thing is, Nicole and the team over there won't take on your case if they don't think that they can help. So if you've been in a road traffic accident or know someone that has, get on to G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them at notatfaultclaims.com or find them on social media at G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims, not at fault claims made easy.
Absolutely, and I've got to put a shout out for Nicole and the team. They've just set up a podcast studio as well. So if you want to get involved, if you're thinking about doing a podcast like us, don't do a football one, of course, because that would be...
Don't do a movie one either.
Don't do a movie one. Alex Chris does a movie one as well. You can follow at G4 Podcast, and they've got a podcast studio that you can go and use as well.
And do you know, John, you were there visiting it the day, weren't you?
I was. It's absolutely cracking, and we're going to be in it in the next couple of weeks as we get the band back together in a studio.
Face to face.
Absolutely. So get involved and follow them on their Twitter, and you get all the details on that. And of course, they do the best thing ever, which is make not at fault claims
easy!
Welcome to the Football Daft Open Line. It is the open line where anything goes. Will England win the Euros? Grado thinks so, and he's supporting them.
Wanna tell ya?
I'm no supporting. He's better put a knob in that right now.
Grado, I've never said it once, mate.
Grado is not supporting England. I'd just like to say...
Just anybody apart from Italy or Denmark.
Yeah.
This is 2 days old. Remember.
Yeah,
they might not even still be in it.
That's a good point.
Hopefully
the best bit of transfer business in Scotland so far. And can we rename? Is it wrong to rename Big Ange as Alf? Because I saw that mic'd up thing he did, Chris, and I just kept thinking Alf Stewart from Home and Away.
Aye.
By the way, I heard that was his role model. I heard that's where he got his badges off.
His badges off, Alf Stewart.
As usual, we've got our panel. We're missing one panel member, but we have with us, of course, Graham Guidi and Chris Delhunt. And let's go to our first caller on the open line. It's actually a guy we've got on this week. It's from a band called Saint Phoenix, who are ripping it up in the charts at the moment. They're a Glasgow band. You might have heard them get played at the Partick Thistle game. We got a shout out at Rangers TV, big Rangers supporters. It's Stevie Duke from the band Saint Phoenix.
Who's your conjoined twin on your shoulder there?
That's my conjoined twin. That's my brother Alan.
What's happening, Alan? How you doing, mate? Not bad. This band any good, mate?
Is he in it?
Aye, that's the
No.
brothers. We've got
The brothers. It's like Robson and Jerome. Come on.
Right.
I think I shoot your horn when you were dating Jordan
Belladrum.
Belladrum. My horn, you took your horn after the dog and took your horn.
Who did? Told me because who?
I've never been to Belladrum.
Me? No, because told you were at Belladrum.
I've never been to Belladrum.
Right, hold on. What did I do? I never watched. What did I do?
You were doing a push.
And I said, what's happening? You take your horn off your knob and shoot my horn.
That's kind of I
I don't know who's the worst one out of you or him. Him for doing it or you for letting him.
I know you let the guy finish.
I didn't wash my hands after either.
Still no washed this one. He's got one of them wee glass bubbles in it.
It's like that. It's like that Joachim Low for the German manager.
Oh mate, don't even go there, man. Is that kind of do that sometimes? I know.
Grado, you're murder for it, man.
Mate, I'm not murder for it.
That's so.
What do I do?
You scratch and sniff all the
No, I
time.
don't.
You do so.
You scratch and sniff all the time. You know, nobody's bad for doing pishes and shaking hands. He's terrible for it.
I can understand that, Jeremy. I get it because everybody likes fucking dipping their head under the covers and smelling their own farts. Now, didn't they? That's it.
Do you know what?
I mean?
I'm going to ask you something, lads. Do you think Jockey Loeb does it for a wind up now?
No, well, see, I think he's maybe at the stage now where everybody knows I'm a deviant, so I need to play up to it. Do you know what I mean?
That's
Double
what I mean.
down. Double down.
he's got to keep up that reputation of being a deviant. So, but some of the stuff he's been caught with is absolutely disgraceful. Boys,
Aye.
armpits, nose, a lot, man, arse, everything.
Sniffing Licky did the other day.
I sniffing licked, so he did.
Oh,
That's not a sniffing.
I didn't see that one off.
Aye.
Don't fucking think with a sniffing lick.
No, it's the.
listen, I've done that with a few birds.
Right, we'll swiftly move on. You're ripping it up in the iTunes charts this week. Happy Place. Where's it? It's just kind of exploded out of nowhere. What's been happening?
Oh, we're talking. I've been talking about sniffing and licking now. I need to talk about my dad dying. Fucking hell, man! What a change that is.
Right, hold on a minute. Where did that come from? Is your dad just passed away?
That's the story's about. So get the tissues out. I guess I'll
When you go, man, I like this
tell the
stuff.
story. So
By the way, Grado will laugh. I'm just going to tell you now, Grado
all
will
right.
laugh.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. But I see. I'm Grado's the type of guy that laughs at a funeral, isn't he? He used to-
It's,
tell you the back stuff.
if you come up and tell me, how you getting on and all that, and if somebody turns around and says, like, "Oh, I'm struggling, my papa's died," I mean, that just makes me laugh. It's just a nervousness. It's no, I don't actually find it funny. There's just nothing worse.
I don't worry about it.
Somebody's died. I fucking just want to burst out laughing. It's just a nervous thing.
But see, be fair, that was my old man. He's kind of he's built in the same mould where you laugh when you shouldn't laugh type thing, man.
Aye.
I think it's a West of Scotland thing, but
It's assemblies. Remember the assembly at school, man? If there was just something dead funny about stuff going silent or somebody letting off, or, you know what I mean?
did you ever play a game of
It's a
job?
West of Scotland thing.
I gave my jobby.
You ever play a game of job where you're in an exam hall in assembly and you used to start off shouting jobby dead low, and then it's who can shout jobby the loudest?
I do remember that game.
Aye.
Love
Was that no Dick and Dom?
Aye, Dickin, but they played it safe with bogies, but jobby.
Bogies, that's what it was. Aye.
Jobby was the way. But
There you
so I basically 2017, my old man was diagnosed with a terminal lung condition called pulmonary fibrosis, and he basically the situation got where his lungs would get worse and worse and worse and worse when he couldn't breathe, and then he would obviously pass away. So he just accepted the news and just got on with it and didn't really make a fuss about it. And the first winter that it came to, he got a bad chest infection, and you could just tell he was struggling with his lungs. And we said to him, listen, why don't you just go like to Spain, or he used to go to India on holiday, or just go somewhere hot so that you're not getting the cold weather and it's not going to hurt your lungs. And he's like, no. And I said, just go and live. When you just go and bolt away. And he says, no. I said, I promise your mum, I've always wanted to build a house. That's been my dream. I want to build a house, so when I pass away, this house is here for your mum and the kids and the grandkids when I go. So he bought a bit of land. There's a wee hill up at Lanark called Tinto. So he bought a bit of land up there, and he built this house. This was about 3 years ago. He managed to build it, and when 2020 hit the lockdown, we were away touring with Capaldi and Youngblood all of America. It was amazing. And then 2020 hit. It was like, obviously the world shut down, and obviously all the recording studios are shut down, so we had nowhere to go. And my dad's like, listen, I've got the top room, my garage is just a room if you want to build a studio. And lo and behold, this is where we are now. He let us build a studio in his garage. So for all of 2020, we were in this studio every day writing songs, and after every time we wrote a song, we'd get into the house and we would show him the song that we had written that day. So he was dead biased, and he loved the music, and he used to say, man, that's a fucking number one, that song, man, that's going to go to the top of the charts and all the rest of it. And he used to sit on his couch. He's got a big window and it looks out to these hills. So as 2020 progressed or went on, he was obviously shielding, but his health started to decline, so his lungs got worse. And about November, I went in to show him a song, and he didn't hear me coming in. He was just sitting on his couch looking out to the hills, and he just looked dead peaceful and happy. And I know he'd been through a tough time that week because he had like a lung function test, and it didn't get good news. And he knew that he was getting worse, but he just looked at peace. And I come back into the studio and I said, I've just seen my dad there. He just seems dead at peace. So I picked up a guitar and I wrote these words. I says, over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape, take me to my happy place. So that was where he was at. He was at his happy place, and then it got me thinking, this is what he's created. This is his wee sanctuary for being here during the last years of his life. So I come in and I wrote that chorus, and I showed Alan, that's brilliant. So I drove home that night and I was listening, I just kept crying. Just kept crying my eyes out, because I think we knew deep down that my dad was dying. And so after that, I never couldn't finish the verses or anything, because it was just too raw and too real. Anyway, fast forward to December, he get sick and he get taken into hospital on Christmas Day, and we're FaceTiming him, and he's like, how's the music? He said, don't worry about me, how's the music? I said, Dad, I've not been doing music, to be fair, because we're worried sick about you. He says, you've got to finish it, you've got to finish all your music, all your songs. So he didn't know we'd been working on this song. So over New Year, we wrote all these lyrics about turning back time, and I wish I could still be there, and all the rest of it, and just about the journey of him with this illness, and managed to finish it. And the night we finished it, I drove home after the studio, got home. As soon as I got home, I got a phone call to say, listen, your dad's going to pass away. You need to come up and see him before to see our last goodbyes. So we all went up to the hospital to see our last goodbyes, and luckily enough, we got to play him the song on his deathbed, and we're just so grateful that he got to hear the song. And he passed away, and you know, he was our hero. He was our just everything, to be fair. And the next day, telling the story to my managers, obviously text my manager to say, listen, my dad's passed away now, and he phoned me. I was telling him the story, and I said, listen, we've wrote this song. I didn't tell you we'd wrote this song, but it was all about my dad dying, and we got to play it to him. And next thing we know, man, Atlantic Records in America come in and said, we want to offer you a record deal, we love this song. I just
no, that's your dad's final gift to you, man. That's incredible, man. What an incredible story that is.
There's something in that, man. The wheel, you know, hear about the wheel turning and all this. There's something in that. That's fucking beautiful, isn't it?
I'm nearly fucking greeting here, by the way.
That's a great story, man. I mean, obviously it's sad, but that it just.
Do you know what that is? And sorry for interrupting you, Stevie. That's a movie.
I mean, it's funny. Do you know what? I'm sitting there where he's talking. I'm going, I hope they've got this on film, like documentary, because I'm thinking, what a documentary that would have been.
That's a movie, lads. There's a movie in that.
Well, this song is basically, we're trying to spread this message to everybody through this song, and not just like in terms of people who have, as you said, you've lost parents. If you've lost a mum or a dad or somebody you love, this song is for you. If you can, you know, and the whole thing is everybody needs a happy place, no matter what it is. It can be go to the football or with your family or go on holiday. It doesn't matter.
Listen, going to the football's not been a happy fucking place for me recently.
I was told it was. Aye, it's subjective to how your team's gone, but I guess that's what we wanted to write a song about. Anyway, we released it on Friday, and response has been, we couldn't have believed it, man. I went right to, I thought my manager said, listen, it's number 41 in the iTunes chart. He says, don't be stupid. He says, it takes time to get going and all the rest. He says, we're not big enough to do that. And then I said, it's 41. He says, well, you better go on that. So next minute we start telling everybody it's 41. Then it gets to 30. Then it gets to 25. Then it gets to 17 and 11. Then it got to number 7. So we're up against like Ed Sheeran and...
Ed Sheeran's always got about 42 fucking singles in the charts. He
knows how to play the game. But no, it got off to a good start during the week. And as I said, these things, it takes time, you know, for radio to pick it up and all the rest of it. But we're off to a good start, and our mission is to basically get the song as widespread as possible and get the awareness up. And obviously, thank you guys for having us on this podcast, because this is part of the whole thing about spreading the word.
By the way, I'll play you in the movie, Stevie. We've got the same beard. I'll need to get a wig on.
Same beard, aye.
You know better. I've played. What's your brother's name again? Alan. Oh.
Like, no, you want to play Stevie then?
I might play fucking Steve. Well,
you can play me, Grado.
I look good in a set of spandex.
Well, it's good for you because I fucking don't.
Stevie, obviously the campaign's going to hit up this week. You then get played. I have to put a shout out. My mate's the Partick Thistle Tannoy guy, and he played you on at Partick Thistle there, and they obviously got a mention on Rangers TV.
Tell your mate he is an absolute legend. I tell you why, right? So we were doing promo all day, and I forgot that the Rangers game was on. I usually watch it on Rangers TV. I totally forgot. And so you just got to mention the Rangers TV. And I was like, what? I said, shoot, I don't think it's somebody. They're playing away, so I don't understand how that happened. Anyway, I watched it back, and we know Emma Dodds for years ago. Emma's a good friend of ours, and she's obviously just caught the song on the tannoy, and she's speaking to Neil McCann, and then next minute she just clocked it and timed it perfectly and said, oh, by the way, in the tune in the background, St Phoenix, big Rangers fans.
Oh, wow, man, that's class. Is that what she says?
It was brilliant. So
that must have been some buzz.
We took a wee bit of a dent, or not a dent, but we took a wee bit of push in the old sales.
Get in there, mate. What I want to ask you is, what I've always wanted to ask you is, this is what I've always wanted to ask you, when he's coming back to doing live gigs or here, when can we come and see you, man?
Well, we're playing Transmit in Glasgow on the 12th of September on the Sunday.
Right. Is that you going to give us free passes so we can go backstage and that?
Use are on backstage with us, definitely.
Yeah, pretty.
Tidy, honestly, couldn't we?
Aye.
Getting about it, man, aye. Transmit,
doing
that's
that.
a big dog, is it no?
Aye, it's a big one. And then there's a band, we're touring about the UK with a band called You Me at Six.
I remember them.
You Me at Six, they're a big band.
Is that not a pure emo band back in the day?
Aye, so we're playing with them across, we're supposed to be doing like a whole European tour, but obviously that's been postponed. But we're
what time do they concerts start at?
5 day. So we're doing that, and then I think we'll just get something planned maybe later on in the year or for the start of next year, and just put the foot down.
And before we let you go, boys, how are the Rangers got to do this season?
56, man.
56.
Yeah, man.
56, man. Fucking.
That's one of my favourite band.
I tell you what, tell you where I'm at. I don't want to start laughing at Celtic having a banter user that Ange guy. I can't even pronounce his second name. I don't know. Honestly, it's like I don't. Because it could be a total Pedro Caixinha situation, or it could be an absolute masterstroke. So you don't want to talk too early. But
I'm in the same boat, mate. Totally agree.
Listen, he's got 100% win record.
Oh, that's right. I know.
Don't get me wrong. I was chuckling at 3 minutes in and Windass scores. That gave me a wee bit of a giggle. But
the last time Windass scored 3 minutes in against Celtic, he's get fucked that day, remember?
So we did. There's another Edwards scored, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He came off the bench and curled one into the top corner like fucking Scott Sinclair in his pump.
I remember that. That was a bad day at office for us. But no, I think with Gerrard's built, he's bringing new signings in obviously in January to get them ready for the new season, and then that Lundstram is quality. I think we'll add a couple more. I'm not going to be. No, I think Celtic have got a lot to do. They've got a full squad to build, pretty much.
You're absolutely right.
It's going to be tough. I mean, there's no way about it. It's the same way. I think he's going to need time. The same way like Gerrard was lucky that COVID hit because he get extra time. Do you know what I mean? So. Mm-hmm.
Stevie and Alan, thank you so much for coming on, boys. Really appreciate it.
Welcome.
So that was St Phoenix. Get out, buy their single, get them up to number 1. Good lads. Let's move on to our next caller on the open line. Let's speak to Sean. Sean, you're through to the panel. We're one member short. What do you want to say?
It was just to see if the likes of Ryan Jack, McLean, and Griffiths had been fit. Do you think any of them would have made a difference in the group stages?
No.
No,
I don't, because I think we had better players there.
See, for me personally, I thought Griffiths would have won better than Dykes.
Maybe I.
Griffiths would have been better than Lyndon Dykes, I think.
I've said this before, but you don't go for in a Euro competition like that with fucking Lyndon Dykes up front. Chris, am I right? Come on.
You're right, Grado. You're right. And I
Come on.
think you're right in what you say as well, Sean. I think Griffiths could maybe have done a better job. However, what Griffiths turns up, is it a Griffiths that doesn't bother his arse, or is it a Griffiths that puts fucking 30 goals a season in? So you never know, mate. It's all ifs, buts and maybes, isn't it?
Aye.
Tell you what, see if that man on your wall behind you was fit and of age, that'd have been a fucking different story.
Let's move on to our final call on the open line. He's been on before.
He's been on before.
McFarlane. He's a good Celtic supporter. So there we go. What do you want to say, John?
How are we all doing?
All good, John boy.
All the better for seeing your handsome face, my man.
I'm delighted.
Oh, cheers, Chris. Cheers.
Good to see you, mate.
Aye, good to see you too, man. Congrats on how many episodes, by the way.
Well, thanks very much. Thank you.
We're Centurions. Fucking Centurions, mate.
That's it, mate. And you take it. Congratulations as well, mate.
Oh, thanks very much, bro. Thank you very much, my man. Take care.
Good stuff. Good stuff,
take care
man.
as if he's lean. Take care.
What have you done there? Go on if you want.
It's done already. You know you made your point yet, John. What do you want to say, pal?
So the point he made last week also talked about players that you hate. So has it ever been a player that you've had a soft spot for? So you've no hated them or loved them, you just have that wee kind of soft spot from actually. I don't even mind this.
That's a good question. Do you mean like obviously like me liking a Celtic player? Is that what you mean?
Aye.
We know what yours is, Grado.
You know mine. That's it. There's
Go on,
only
say it.
one.
He's getting another mention on the 100th episode.
Get two Pierre. Fucking
Big Pierre. Do you mean like me liking a Rangers player, aye?
Aye, could be anything, Rangers, Aberdeen, whatever.
Right.
you can't say the likes like Bo Barbari now since we've kind of, do you know what I mean? But somebody from back in the day.
No, but if I don't say Barry, he'll be raging when he comes up for dinner on Sunday.
That's very true. That's Coist doesn't know, Chris.
I did have I'd quite liked Ali McCoist. I also liked Mark Walters. And who else did I like? As much as he was a fucking absolute bastard and he was a thorn in our side all the time, I always really liked Andy Gorham as a goalie. Not as a, do you know what I mean? Not as a fucking...
Not as a person.
Aye.
What's a person?
Mate, do you know what the weird thing is, right? See, then, like, and this is going to piss off quite a lot of Rangers fans over, but I quite like this Andrew guy, man. He reminds me of like.
Oh, he looks like somebody that you'd see fucking coaching a Wayne's team on the side of the park.
Well, do you know what he reminds me? He reminds me of like having like a pure scary woman head teacher for all your days at the school. And then they go, we've got a new head teacher coming after the summer, and he kind of pops up and he becomes instantly the best teacher ever. Do you know that kind of cool, I don't know, there's something about him. It's maybe because he's got a bit of weight on him.
I tell you what, see that story you just said there? That's the exact thing that happened to me at high school, right? We had this bastard there, head teacher, right? And he left and they brought in this new one, right? And everybody was like, this guy's amazing, he's brilliant, right? So I seen my mate coming up the stairs and I hid behind the door, right? And I was going to give him a fright, but the headmaster came in before him, right? And I jumped out and I went, ah! And I scared the living shit out of this guy, right? And see, ever since then, he hated me. He loved everybody else and he was brilliant with everybody else. But he fucking hated me.
See you later, Biggin.
Thanks,
John.
Take care.
So that's it for this week's Open Line. If you want to be on next week, keep an eye out on our Twitter.